This is my Navy board, and this is a boot camp picture. This is when I played in the Drum and Bugle Corps. And these pictures here were taken on Guam from 8 guys from Muskegon. And this picture here is the picture of the destroyer that it was on. And this is the ship's company, everybody that was aboard it in 1945. This picture here is at a ship's reunion, and I'm here and Johnny Mayo's there. This is the survivors of the ship when it got hit in Okinawa in 1945 on July 29th. It got hit. These pictures here are the history of the destroyer and where it went and everything. And then over here is after the war ended, why I went to Tokyo Bay and then Shanghai, China, and got on this Liberty ship. And I was on that. I was in Shanghai a couple of weeks. And then we went from there to Guam, and then from Guam to Pearl Harbor. And that's the history of the Osella, which was active during the war, hauling food and airplane parts. That's like that.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Over here we started with, we got Model A and Model T manuals, Model T jack, there's a 36 Ford, and a tractor manual. These are tools that you use on a Model A. And over here, just some of the birdhouses I made for my own imagination. And over here too, this one was Rock City. These are just a few collectibles from the Detroit Tiger Stadium. It was Tiger Stadium, a couple old tickets. Oops. And doors, just some pictures of Muskegon, what it used to look like, and down at Lake Michigan and downtown. Over here are some pictures of the house and when it was first built. And there's one picture, that's me sitting on the back porch in 1928. And that's my mother and dad and me and my sister. She died in 1939. And that's some other pictures of my grandma and grandpa. These are old pictures in back of this house. When I was little, they used to have morning glories going up over that window by the breakfast room there. Every year they'd be on strings up there. I grew up. I don't think anymore. This is the permit to have the house built in 1926.
Fee was $4, huh?
Yeah, $4,000.
Oh, that's what
That was the estimated
cost. Wow.
Yeah, is that something?
Huh.
I don't even buy the chimney now.
Yeah.
And here, start. These up here are all pencil sharpeners. They're all cast cast pair. There's 66 different ones that I've collected through the years, and just for kind of show, I guess. Down here is a down here's that's my when I was in the Scouts. I was in Scouts for 4 years. And this old leaf right here. that was found in our backyard in 1987. It's been in that frame since 1987.
It's huge.
Yeah, today is 2013, so it's it's the biggest oak leaf I've ever seen. So it's not worth anything, but somebody kid to show and tell in school would be good.
Yeah, really.
And that's my grandpa and my dad and his brother. That was my grandpa's blacksmith shop over by Sparta, 13 miles from Foothbridge. My dad played no drum and bugle corps for 12 years. He's right next to the major on the left. He played the drums, same as I did. Then you'll know that Tennessee is not very far. These are World War II ration books that you had to have during the war to get. These are for clothing, shoes, what have you. These are different ones. And then over here, these are gas stamps. You had to have, like the A stamp, you get 5 gallons of gas. And it was 10 gallons of gas on the B stamp because we moved on the farm for a year, and then my dad had to drive further. So. And this is when you get out of the Navy, where they sew that on your jacket, so to show that you got discharged. They call it a ruptured duck. That back then. This is a letter that when after it's censored, that's how you get it. After they take out stuff that you ain't supposed to have in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. These are points you have to have during the war to buy meat and groceries. If you bought a pound of hamburger or something, you had to have a red token. And the blue tokens was for like sugar, butter, things that were harder to get. And so without that, so you had to get those at the ration board. I don't know if you can get that picture up there. This big picture up here was Kelleysfield, Texas in 1918. My dad's in there too. Isn't it amazing how they can make that picture that way back then?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's written on it. You can't. It's faded out now, but it's written right on there. Kelleysfield, Texas.
Yeah, gotta stand sideways to get the whole thing in here.
Yeah, it's amazing that they could do that back then. This is my dad's World War I helmet that he wore during the war, and this is one of his dress hats and his gas mask that he had issued to him. That's still in there, and it's all full. It's not in very good shape anymore. These are some shells from World War I that I made up a little thing here, and these are buttons off his coat.
Oh, okay.
It was off his army coat he had. And, he was during World War I. They had a mechanic and a gunner and a pilot on the plane. He was a mechanic on number 8. That's a picture of him in the plane there during 1918, 1919. He was in World War I about the same length of time I was in World War II. He was in the first Aero Squadron, is what they called it back then, under General Pershing. That's why I got a picture of General Pershing up there. Down here is some old records of Abbott Costello, and these are the records in here of Kennedy's, all his speeches on these records. Some of them have never been played even yet. And this is a record of the first man on the moon. And this car right here is the Queen, which the Bloomstroms made cars back in 1900, 1906. And this was some of the history of it right here. And they made the Queen, the gyro, and I can't think of the other one now. They made cars. They were manufacturing cars at Marquette, about 10 cars a week. Yeah, that's in 1907. They made racing cars too. That's a roadster. So that was when things went wrong. That's a Queen. So this Queen right here is in the Grand Rapids Museum that my cousin restored it. Over here we got some old money from other countries. That's from Germany, I think it is. And there's some certificates that I had. I was the first secretary of the Eagles in 1967. That's when I retired from the paper mill. And that's a Veterans Foreign Wars certificate I got that they gave me at the VFW. I don't know if you're interested in these things or not, but these things here I made for international aid. We volunteered for 5 years. They had what they called a lab in a suitcase that they shipped all over the world. And this thing was used for putting blood samples, pipettes in for blood samples. And they had to be level, and so I made about probably 200 of those that they used. And, and over here you got some one-sided records. Cut one side, there's a record on the other side, and then at that time they made them a lot thicker. And this Brunswick was made in Muskegon at the Brunswick company. These are all Avon products, different cars in the whole thing. They're all full of perfume too, so they, yeah. Down here you got little toys and things like that. Old card games, flinch, touring, authors, and things that we used to play when we were little. These are Coke bottles here. The set of Coke bottles is from Germany, some from Bangladesh. And,
oh wow!
Yeah, they're from all over. This one that's Bangladesh there. Yeah. Then you got Tinker toys and old sets, original wooden Tinker toy. There's 3 complete sets there. And you got a bag full of Lincoln logs. And so just some old things that were around back in 50, 60 years ago at least. And these are some toys these aren't real old, but they'll be, if you keep them long enough, if you don't lose any of the soldiers. If you lose one soldier, it's dead meat. It ain't good anymore. There's a couple old soldiers that we had, but those things are old, and so I just kept them in there. A few Chinese things that I don't even remember where I got them now, but they're fans, and Those two have been sitting there for a long time. Down there's a whole slew of Barbie dolls that the next girl baby in the family, if I'm still alive, boy, they're going to have a good start playing with Barbie dolls. Up here we got golf ball. That's my Boy Scout hat, and these are some golf balls. These are from the White House, and these are from the Secret Service golf balls, and some of the other ones are not as important. But and also you got one of these stereo viewers, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole bunch of stuff we look at. That was our entertainment when I was younger, up on the farm. Well, we'd keep looking at those same ones over and over. Their old glasses and old shaving
Straight
shavers.
razor.
Yeah, old straight razors. I got a bunch of those. And ice pick. Lake Ice Company in Muskegon. These are old clippers here from where I used to get my hair cut with these. Not these here ones, but just like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, full. Oh.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, there's 3 pairs of hair here and a pair of each one. So those are pretty old too, I guess. And then you got a few old books of different Moby Dick and all.
Mm-hmm.
And these are some old bells and stuff that have been around. Big old shoe and stuff. Old stuff they used years ago for peeling and open up bottles and open up cans. Salt and pepper shakers. These are Kentucky Derby glasses, a lot of them, and then you got the Lions and Michigan and stuff like that. And down here you got a couple of old coffee pots. And these here, they have these orange peeler things. Some of those they had I don't know, they had a big price on some of those for some reason. I don't know why, because there's so many different ones. And this is just ice cream. Yeah, there's some old plates that are in here. These are 18 karat gold.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I wish I would know a way to get it off of there.
Yeah.
I don't think there is. Yeah, there's 4 of them there. Some I got from Kellogg's. It's a cereal dish. Kid, this is when it slobbers off their chin. It goes. It's supposed to go in there. And down here, just these are a whole lot of things that used to have never been open. You know, the aerospace, and there's a lot of kind of some neat things in there. You know, when you, I never open them because if you open them, why? You see that? That's satellite or happening. Yeah. A lot of that stuff down there. There's a couple of my hats from the service. What you had. That's a potty you put under the bed at night.
Oh, okay.
That's when I lived on the farm where you had the pot, because in the wintertime going out 60 feet to the outhouse.
Yeah.
That's what you use those. They call them the honey pot. And over here you got, that's the coat collection that kids gave me one time. That's a postcard of Muskegon. That's Muskegon High School, way back. And that's Lucy up there. That little thing right here is probably been in this house, I would guess, over 70 years. It was there when I was a little kid on the wall in the kitchen. That's keys. And this is kind of unique here. This you don't see many. This is a 4-hole mouse trap, and I have never seen another one. and it works. I mean, it's still, you can still use it, and it's kind of unique in a way. Some tobacco cans, velvet, and this is. This is my rubber gun I had when I was a kid, and it was a double shooter. And that it's got a Drew's beer bottle cap on it. There's another handle one on here with the rubber, you know. The,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's stuff your rubber, but that thing is, well, that's over 70 years old too. Well, more than that, 70. I'd say it's 75 years old. A lot of marbles and postcards, and these are postcards of ships and the Muskegon and Silversides and the Alcorama and Clipper. And then we had car ferries here, and that's a paper mill. Muskegon, and then out on the lake. So this paper mill one is 1907 or 1909. And this one here is 1907. That card. So that's pretty old. They're over 100 years old, both of them. And over here you got, on these here this is all McDonald toys I've had for, over 10 years. And these little trucks here, some of those that I ordered, some of those things that they've been there for years too. Up on top of it. And all this McDonald stuff is all over 10 years ago. So it's just sits there. And this is pipes, and this thing right here, I don't know if you can see it even, but I can put it out here. This thing here is I bought it at a yard sale years ago, and I had no idea how old it is, but one of Andy Griffith's shows, the old ones they had, one of the scenes is one of these was on the desk, just like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that was in the 40s probably, you know.
Yeah, 70 years old probably.
Yeah, exactly like it. It was sitting on the desk. I couldn't believe it. That's
Wow.
First time I seen one, so yeah, and these are old too. When I was a kid, the Jack Armstrong Hike-O-Meter used to order through the, the program, and that was, I was 14 years old when they had these. That's pretty old. And we got some of the just old cans and stuff, and some few old cereal boxes, the special ones they put out for the Kellogg's and Tiger Woods, and this is the thing I used to mark my clothes when I was in the Navy. It's got my name and serial number on it, so when you went to the laundry, clothes went in, you got your clothes back. It's amazing. I saved that. That was in boot camp. I saved that right from the hole.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And over here is some old bottles and stuff. There's a lot of bottles of when they had the syrup bottles with the 1776. They all got a different log cabin, and they got a different thing on them. Some people collect them, and I got a few of them. And some old beer cans, and Billy Beer, and Milwaukee Best, and Mountain Dew, and this beer bottle right here, it was a bottle that was made in Muskegon at the brewery company right over here where Cole's Bakery, and it says on here, Muskegon Brewery Company, Muskegon, Michigan. Restricted, pure, and without drugs or poison. On the bottle. It's pretty. You don't see that on any beer bottle today.
No.
And
I think you just sort of take it for granted that it didn't have poison in it.
yeah, right. If you drink enough of it, it's going to poison you anyway.
Yeah.
And this is the Sanitary Dairy in Muskegon, and this is a creamer. And a small Coke bottles, and some little bitty ones. And these are caps used to put on top of milk bottles. You know, from Borden's. Got the date on Tuesday. Yeah, there. These are old insulators. These insulators right here came from my wife's mother's farm up at the Hesperia on the farmhouse. These are over 100 years old.
Wow.
And they had a cable that time went up for lightning rod, you know, on the roof of the high. Well, this piece right here is the top of the lightning rod.
Of the lightning rod, okay.
Yeah, this here, and these were on the cable that went to that. And so that, I don't know how far over 100 years, but they're well over 100 years ago. These are just a couple other, you know, big ones you used to see on insulators. And that's the insulator, different. Then in the house, in this house, there still is, when they wired this house in 27, these are they ran the wires through here, and that's what they nail that in, and that was the insulator for the wires. So that's a little different too compared to what you have now, you know.
I think it had knock-in tube, right? I think that's what they called it.
Yeah. And these are a set of Disney glasses here. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. I think there's 9 of them or something like that. They never been out of the box. There's a set of those that. Then you got some more bottles and stuff down here, and you got all the old fruit jars with the tops on them like that, and the lids, and I think these are just those are root beer bottles, yeah. Root beer. That's a bank. There's a few pennies in there. And this is getting pretty old too. The Singer's sewing machine, 39 cents.
Wow.
Yeah, that's. And this is Mr. Wrench. That was 99 cents. That's pretty. That's with old glasses and things. Some books, and this is a. This is a. That's a roll your own cigarette. There used to be, when I let Joyce put it in her place, and there was papers and stuff in there where you put a little paper and put your tobacco in there, and but somebody stole the papers. These old boxes here, old cheese box, used to get cheese in these wooden boxes. Oh, that's some pictures from China when I was in Shanghai. But, yeah, the antique places got these boxes sitting in there. And some other cans, some old tape ruler that isn't any good anymore. Amelie's dad had it. These are buckets from Las Vegas. They don't use
from
those
the casino,
anymore.
huh?
Yeah, they don't use those anymore. Different casinos. There's a piece of wood from Alaska. What do they call that again now? What kind of wood?
Diamond willow.
Huh?
Diamond willow.
Oh, a diamond willow? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You guys got that piece and I'm feeling. Still got it. See, I don't throw anything away. Over here is well, that clock isn't real old. There's a bottle capper and a couple of axes, and then this is a shoe repair, different size shoes they put on. And this is the cobbler's hammer right here. That's a cobbler's hammer. And my dad used to put heels on our shoes. You know, usually wore the heels out for you. when you got a hole in your shoe, just put some newspaper in there. And there's my old glove. I didn't play much ball. There's a cutter back there, and that's a shaker for the furnace. But this bottle capper is kind of interesting. My mother made root beer back when we were kids, and this jar right here has got new caps in it, and it's never been opened since my mother was alive. And she died in '45. It's been in that.
Oh wow.
Those new caps have been in there ever since before she made root beer. I never opened it up. Here's a series of tools that I've accumulated, different ones, wrenches and jacks, and this is for putting rings in a car. That's an oil change. Crooked wrenches and chopper, and this is a crank for an old car. You used to have to crank the front of it. Yeah, and then this went in. Then you had these here. You had the crank here, and then you had the wrench to take the lug nuts off.
Oh, okay.
Whereas this one didn't have. All this was that's a jack, a scissors jack, down in there somewhere. Oh, right here. Yeah, and this is a handle for where you jack your car up. And then the antique jack, or that one jack out there for the Model A antique. These were lugs you use when you got stuck in the wintertime, and you pull the strap through, and then you put it through your wheel, on the back wheel, the old carcass. You could put them right through.
Oh yeah.
You put two of these on each back wheel, and then usually you got out. Not every time, but cold, and your hands are freezing, and trying to get this thing in and make it work. And it wasn't very nice. And these things here, I ask everybody, what they're used for. And very few, maybe 1 out of 10 knows. And with this, and what it was used for is when you rode a bicycle, and your pants, back then they didn't have guards over the chains. So you fold your pants over on the bottom and you slide that on your legs so they keep your pants out of the chain.
Oh wow.
And that's what those are. That's what those are used for.
Huh.
And I got 2 of them there. So those are pretty old. Old curling irons and wrenches and stuff. Other than these braces, that was how you drill all your holes. A lot of those. And these special wrenches here they had for different things. Fit that size, and they used to turn them down like that. Draw shave. So, and then that's my first putter right there. That goes way back, quite a few years. And this putter here, I know I got that when I retired from the lab. They gave me a gold golf ball, gold tees, and a gold putter. That's 14 karat gold.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's too bad I can't get it off. I don't know how you melt it. That covers it up pretty good. I don't know if you want to get this thing. This is kind of neat.
Yeah.
The thing about that letter that Dad and Mother lived across the street in a house over here, and they got married 23, and they lived in an apartment upstairs, and my sister was born 24, and anyway, I was walking one day coming back to the house, and then the lady lives there now. She says, I got something for you. And the guys were cleaning upstairs in the attic, and they found this letter that was addressed to my mother in 1925, and we don't know whether it was ever opened or not, but they found it in a crack on the floor, and it's an advertising for a Royal vacuum cleaner. And so I built this frame and put it in, and so it's been laid up in the attic there for 87 years. And it's amazing that it's in the condition it is. So I'm trying to find a Royal vacuum cleaner so I can give this to the Heritage Museum downtown, and because the store was on Western Avenue in Muskegon. And that's
Oh, wow.
what yeah, it was right down on Western Avenue on the hill where the Muskegon Electric Company. So that was kind of, you know, one thing I'll have to say that you might want is this duck here is probably one of my best things that I got, and I got that for Christmas in 1931, and during the Depression. My dad made it, and they had a string on the front here, and I would pull that around, and I've restored it, and it's written underneath here that he wrote on there, 1931. So that's what I got for Christmas. There was no money back then. Yeah. Now they wouldn't even look at this. So anyway, it's amazing. It's been around for all those years, you know. Other than that, I don't know. That's a picture of the wall and at the mill, all the stuff I saved. That's for every year. It starts at the year 2000 or 1900 and goes up to 2000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So. I don't know if you want my workshop or not. But,
Sure, yeah.
Bulbs are over there. This is my workshop, and this is some of the stuff I make. Jewelry boxes is one of the things, and so I keep pretty busy down here making things out of wood, and then I got a few things stored away here for them to get rid of when I go above. That's something I have a hard time to remember where I put something. Sometimes I know I got this, and you know, you look and look, then you find it when you don't need it. And these are some of my tools, and right now I'm making a birdhouse to represent an old schoolhouse like that. That's the old schoolhouse with my mother in it at Dalton, District 6. So I'm trying to make a replica, a little bit of it when I get done here. That's the thing I had trouble with yesterday all afternoon, trying to get that to fit. Right, because see, you had to get this here, all the different holes there but I wanted this thinner. So this is where I spend many hours down here.